Okay, so let's go over this. First off, sorry about putting points in already, but tried to record this once, it didn't go through. So I'm gonna explain it again. Alright, this guide is meant for people who are trying to level an alt. If you've just started the game, you can use these tips, feel free, but the simple fact is this is more geared towards somebody who's already done that grind once, who really kind of already knows the game and how to play the game, because I would not recommend someone right off the bat go start power leveling. Don't do that. Learn the game first. Play the game. Then you can power level your alts. You can use the tips if you want. It's up to you. I just wouldn't recommend doing it. Anyway, this is going to be a magic healer. Because, well, I say magic because that's the points where we're putting our stuff into. That's why you see a point there. It's going to be a healer. We're going to be leveling as something of a hybrid because it's a little bit easier to do. Okay, so we're going to grab this, claim it. Alright. And for this, obviously, for your attributes, you're going to put them where you need to be. Find out what you want to do with the character first. Find a build. Plan it. Plan it. I can't stress that enough. If you don't know what you're doing from the get-go, it's going to slow you down. You're going to have to change it 100 times. You don't want to do that. You get a scroll to change your character once you hit 50. We're going to save that until we're hitting 50, because we're not going to be using the class abilities, the abilities that we're going to be using for that build while we're leveling. Not going to be doing it. Why? It's very simple. This character is going to be 1 to 50 very quickly, within like 8 hours, without an XP event, as long as you have the drive to sit there and grind. That's the thing. This takes drive. If you're not a grinding type of person, this might not be the guide for you. It's just it's a grind. It just is. That's how it works. Okay. So, like I said, whatever type you are, whether you be magic or stamina, which is probably what you're going to be doing this. If you're running a tank, I would recommend leveling as a DPS, so you're probably going to still want stamina. Like I said, you get those scrolls when you hit 50 to rechange everything. Abuse it and use it. Okay, so we're going to pick up one of the class abilities from each of the trees straight off the bat. What this is going to do is allow these trees to level up equally while you're leveling. This is something that we used to do back when the game first started. It worked. I never see this anymore in like guides or anything. I don't know why. But it worked. And it still works. It's a good way to do it. Just trust me. You'll see once we get going. And what we're going to do as far as our weapons, because I haven't actually went and leveled anything yet. We're still level 3. With the tutorial, I've done it 100 times. If you haven't done it, like I said, I wouldn't be doing this type of power leveling. It's just, you're not going to learn how to play your character. But if you've done it 100 times, you're probably going to skip it. Okay, so what we're going to do is show you that my gear, I'm just using Seducer stuff with 2 random pieces here. They all got 10% XP on them. The weapon has 8. It's a healing staff. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the healing staff until I get the first healing staff ability. Then I'm going to slot that on my bar and switch to a destruction staff. And then I'm going to get the first ability from the destruction staff. And I'm going to stick with the destruction staff. And then I'll back bar the healing staff until I hit 50. We're going to leave those skill points on there. Yes, it'll be a dead skill. We'll not be able to use it. That doesn't matter. It's still going to level. And it's still going to level the restoration staff, which is what we want. We're leveling the ability. Now, if you're using a magic, if you're a magic DPS, right, and you're lacking a little bit of AoE at the start, because this character, like, it's a necromancer. It's got one of the greatest AoEs that you can get right off the bat anyway. But if you are using one weapon, right, if you're a magic DPS, this right here is going to be your best freaking friend, because you can get this and then you can use the morph of it, which will be the top one, not the bottom one, but the top one when you morph it. I forget what the name of it is, but what it does is it inflicts all targets in that area, and this is going to be an amazing little AoE for you to tag everything, which you're going to want to do, because there's going to be other people in this area that we're going to. They're going to be grinding the spot. There are other spots that you can go to, but you kind of want other people there anyway when you're this low. What we're going to do first, though, is we're going to go to Alkir Desert. We're going to get in one of the mega groups, and we're going to run around in a circle for a little bit. And we're going to level our character up to about 20. Once you hit 20, Dolems kind of fall off. They do. It's great XP until you hit 20. Then from when we hit 20, we're going to move into a grinding spot. Once we get over there, if we can get into a group, then we're gonna. If we can't, well, then we'll deal with it until we can get into one. And what I mean by a group is a random who's over there. Invite, or if you're invited, accept. If there's more than 2 people in the group and you can get into another group, great, do that. If you can't, suck it up. Honestly, it's better to be in a group of 2, but a group at all is better than no group. So, let's get started. Okay, here we are in Alkir Desert. How I got here, because I know it's going to be asked. I used my house, which I own for the specific purposes of getting alts here. It was about 45,000 gold. You don't have to do this. I did this because it's a time saver and I've leveled a lot of characters, so I've had it for a long time. Also, you can get this house for free. It's one of the ones you can get for free with the quest line. So when you claim a house, you can actually get this one for nothing. You just have to do that quest line in Alkir Desert to do it. It's been a long time since I've done that, but yeah. It's a very small house. It's a transport method. However, if you don't have that or don't want to do that, that's fine. All you got to do is, there's two easier methods to get here. There's a boat in a lot of the starter cities. There will be a boat to get to Alkir Desert. That's probably going to be what a lot of you do. The other way is by asking in zone chat, can someone get me to Alkir Desert? This will work. Alternatively, you can go to Deshaun and do the Dolems there. This will be more difficult because things are going to be dying less, because there's going to be less damage. In these mega groups, there's a lot more damage, and our goal is to get to 20, not to 50 from the Dolems, because once we get to 20, we're going to be moving on to something else that'll give us more XP. Okay, so what you're going to do is go into zone chat. You see how everybody's typing X and Y and all this? We're going to type X. Sometimes this can take a minute. Just depends on if someone has the add-on or not. So, I will be back with you once we've gotten into a group, but usually this is quite instant. Okay, so we're in a group now, and I don't have any of the waypoints yet. I can see them because I have add-ons that show me where they are, sure, but I can't get to them, technically. We can see the crowns over here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to fast travel to him. This is going to take a little bit to get the points. Once we got the points, then it's easy to go back and forth. I would recommend Alkir Desert Helper. What Alkir Desert Helper is going to do is once you have those points, you can just set clockwise or counterclockwise, and once you go to that to the way shrine, it'll just take you to the next one. See, they're already coming down here, and they're going to go to the next one. So I've unlocked this, and we're already getting levels on. We're already leveling stuff up because of we're discovering shit. So we're just gonna go to the next one. We're gonna learn. We're gonna acquire that way shrine. Once we've got all three, this becomes trivial. One thing I also didn't do was turn on a mount. So yeah, this is oops. Don't forget to do that. There we go.
Your soul is mine, I own you. Come, let us. My subjects fail me. They deserve to be destroyed.
Okay, and let's see. I doubt that. Nope, still haven't unlocked that. Okay. You want to try and hit as much stuff as you can. You're gonna level quicker if you're doing damage. Easier to do that if you get here sooner. Fortunately, I didn't have the way shrine, so. But you gotta go through that the first time. As you can see, my skills are leveled up pretty quickly, and they're gonna do that until you get about 20. Just pick something random here, it doesn't really matter. Okay, we have our restoration staff. What we're gonna do, we have two options here. We're gonna be using both of these when we're healing, so we'll just pick up ground healing. This was not meant to be on here. It's not a bad thing to level it up, but yeah, we're not gonna bother with that. Instead, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over here. Oh, I goofed up. Still in my bank. This is my mess up. There we go. Inferno staff training. Now, just go to the next one. Like I said, I would heavily recommend the add-on here. And we can't mount because they're already in combat. It's fine. So now we're going to be leveling that restoration staff without having a restoration staff on, which is nice. We still got the index XP there where we're in the group, so. And no, I'm not going to record the whole thing. It would make the video way too long. But, yeah, so this is the gist of it. Okay, once we unlock the construction staff, then we'll see it in a little bit, but that should be relatively soon. Construction staff skill tree unlocked. There we go. If you have XP scrolls or anything like that, use them. It'll help. But the quest line does give you some. So as you get them, use them. They're going to be character bound anyway, so there's 0 point in holding on to them. Not going to be able to transfer them to another character because you got them through the quest line. So, alright, we're going to accept that. And go into destruction staff and pick up the first one. That keeps getting put on there. It's annoying, but okay, and move that around a bit. But here's the important part. Right now we have one ability from each on our bars. Now, what ultimate you decide to use is going to be up to you. I'm probably going to go for the one that I need for this, which is going to be reanimate. You don't have to do that. Pick whichever ultimate is going to be best for you. But in my case, it's going to be that one. But this is the basics of it. This is what your bar is going to look like until you're 50. You can switch out abilities. You can. But, okay, say if I switch out this ability for something else. Say I want Spirit, this one, the Ghost. I'm going to switch out this ability for this. I'm not going to switch it out for something else on the other trees. What this is going to do is allow each of these class skill trees to level evenly. That's a lot of the problem when you're leveling up. You're not leveling it evenly because you're trying to follow a build, which is great. You need to follow a build. But power leveling is quite different than normal leveling. Power leveling, it's an accelerated pace. So if you don't do it correctly, you're going to overlevel some things and underlevel others. If you do it this way, you're going to level it quite quickly the correct way. Anyway, so one thing I also would recommend doing, which I will probably go and do right quick because I forgot, is picking up the Fighters Guild and the Mages Guild. Mages Guild not so important because with its books, and you're not going to be doing books for this. But definitely pick up the Fighters Guild. We're going to be leveling that anyway. You're going to want Banish the Wicked. It's going to be a freaking godsend. So, go pick up Fighters Guild. I'm going to go do that right quick before I continue on doing this. But this is going to be one of your quickest ways to get everything done. Because we're doing Dolems. And then we're switching to another grind spot. And the grind spot, that one of the ones that I use, actually still levels Fighters Guild. So, win-win. You're going to need it. It's just how it is. Anyway, see you in a minute. Okay, from this point, what we're going to do because I am at 20. And I'll show you just how far we got on some things. So, we're sitting at 21 on Grave Lord, 19 there, 22 there. There's going to be some variation depending on what skills that you use the most, and some are easier to level than others. Destruction, we're at 25. Resto, we are at 18, which is fine, because this character is going to be using the Restoration Staff more than anything else. And we've also got these two already morphed. And we're working on that one. So, yeah. And as far as Fighters Guild, we're sitting at 7. Which we're going to go ahead and put in a point into Banish the Wicked. And we have 2 different ultimates that we can use right now. We got this, which is our Colossus. Sorry, we got our Colossus, and we've got this. This just morphed, so for now, we're going to put the Colossus back on. Why? This is a great AoE, and we're going to use it. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is leave that big group. Once you hit 20, we're here. We want to go to this Wayshrine here, and then we're going to go up from there. Wayshrine's right there. Okay. Now, yes, what I was doing was swapping abilities in and out, but I kept them on the trees. I kept them on the correct trees. So when I swapped one ability, I swapped it for an ability that was further down in the same tree. That way that we have equal leveling throughout. If you do it this way, it's going to cause you to be able to actually level equally throughout your trees, which is so much nicer than if you didn't. Because if you don't do that, then once you hit 50, you're going to have to level those. And it's a pain in the butt if you're trying to do that and you're trying to play a certain class. It's just annoying. You want those passives and you want them quick. Especially if you've already done this multiple times. You don't want to have to do it again. So this is the easiest way to do it. And we're power leveling. So do it right or don't power level, in my opinion. So we're just gonna. This is the quickest path that I have found to just get up here. Just go straight. This could probably be done quicker if this character wasn't literally made today. Most people will level a character and then try and level up their mount first. I don't do that. Probably should. I don't. Okay. Those two were going to knock us off anyway. For some reason we can't mount. Whatever, we'll run. Okay. Yes, there's the quest there. We don't need it. Ignore it. So this is going to be the first pull. This is going to be the only time we're going to do this pull. Why? Because the route is better than coming back this way. That's why. And you're going to pull them all before you start killing them. Don't just start killing them. Group them up. You're going to get more XP that way. And another thing, you're going to want to have some potions, which I do have, I just don't have them slotted. Mostly because of what I was doing before, there was no point. But here we're gonna need them. Especially considering I'm not sure if anyone's doing this right now. Oh no, they are. Sweet. It's gonna make things even better. Our main goal here is to tag and we'll try and get in a group. Oh my god, ult. Come on now. What's happening here is they're pulling them all to the center and then we're killing them. You want to let people actually pull them to the center. If you don't, you're going to lose XP. XP in this game, you're going to get more from killing multiple targets than you are from killing single targets. It's just how it is. Group them up, then kill. Don't kill before. And then rinse and repeats. We have some stragglers. We just rinse and repeat. Just keep doing this. I'll do a couple of rounds and let you guys see it. It's pretty simple. By the way, at this point, I've got roughly about two-ish hours in this, a little bit over. I think it was like 2 hours and 13 minutes when I stopped doing the dolems. So, yeah, just checked. It was 2 hours and 13 minutes when I stopped doing the dolems. And we're at 20 with everything I showed you. So, yeah, this is pretty quick. Just need to do it right. It's the only thing. Sometimes you will get people who just start the pull and they don't know, and they'll just start killing the center ones. It does happen. It's annoying, but you know, it is what it is. As you can see, we're leveling quite rapidly here. Because I stopped when I hit 20 of the domes. That, for the most part, is from this. Other than what I got from actually going to the Way Shrine and discovering this place, which you're going to get anyway. So, yeah. Always try to tag. Always. As your fighter's guild gets leveled up, it's going to help so much. Once we hit 21, I'll go ahead and stop the recording. But yeah, this is the route, guys. It's pretty simple, and it is good XP. It's just you have to be ready for a grind. If you're not ready for a grind, you're not ready for that kind of mindset, then I really don't know what to tell you. You're gonna be in for a slow grind. Because other methods take forever by yourself. If you can get into a high, with a few highly, if you got a buddy or two, right, you can go do DSA. If they fix DSA, it's currently broken because you crash when you go in there right now on the Ring of Sacrifice. But at some point that'll be fixed. That is faster, 100%. That's faster. However, you need a group, straight up. You're not going to be going in there at this lower level by yourself. It's just not going to happen. Skyreach, in my opinion, probably still faster, but yeah, it's not the easiest thing to do on this low of a character. It can be done. I have seen it done. It's not easy. And yeah, I'll just leave it at that. It ain't easy. And I've only seen it done on a Templar. So, at that lower level. So, yeah. Alright guys, 121. So, we'll take that. And with that, I will see you when it's 50. Okay. Alright, here we go. It's at 50. It took me 7 minutes shy of 8 hours to fully level this. So, let's see. That would be... So it was 7 hours and 53 minutes to get this from 1 to 50. Now, I could have done a little quicker, but I did a few dungeons with a couple of buddies, which slowed me down a little bit, but needed the skill points anyway, so it's whatever. If you want to do something like that, you can. It's not going to hurt you any. It's just, it'll slow you down a little bit, but it breaks up the grind somewhat. But as you can see, that's at 50. We didn't quite get to the 48 that I wanted on these, but we got to 43 on both of them, which is pretty decent, especially considering like the reason why this one leveled so much quicker is because we were using it more. Which I used the crap out of this, but it does less damage than this does, so it's gonna level a little slower. But still, this is very, very good, especially considering that I wasn't just leveling one weapon. Leveling the destruction staff, which got to 50, and the restoration staff got to 42. Realistically, this is what needed to hit 50, because this character is going to be a healer. I'm going to need all these passives, and I don't need to ever have to deal with having to level this. I've got Elemental Drain maxed out, which I needed. This is going to be maxed out at some point, but we have it morphed, which is the important part. So, yeah. With Restoration Staff, this is the funniest part. I didn't use a Restoration Staff other than at the beginning for like 5 minutes to get the tree unlocked. Once I got the tree unlocked, I took it off and I just slotted this skill like I was saying. And I went from this, I leveled this up and morphed it. And then I switched the skill, leveled this up and morphed it, switched the skill, leveled this up and morphed it. Because I'm going to be using all three of these. I'm going to be using all three of these a lot, because these are a lot of the main heals. Now, Fighters Guild, maxed it out. It's a 10. I actually had this maxed at like 30. It was ridiculous. So, around 30 anyway. So the only thing left to do on this character really is skill points, respecking it into a healer, and then dropping gear onto it. This will come as it comes, and it's pretty freaking close already. So, yeah. This method works. It's very simple. We literally have one of each from each tree on our bar at all times to level. Yeah, this is a dead slot. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It works. That's how you do it. Oh, and we leveled 2 of our alts. We got the Colossus leveled, and it's maxed out. And we got this leveled and morphed. So, and this will, trust me, this will max out because it's going to be pretty much my main ultimate. I didn't end up doing the PvP. I have to do that still. That's fine. I'll get Warhorn. It'll only take me like, basically if I do the dailies for the for Battlegrounds, so the 3 dailies that you do for Battlegrounds, which I should have done because that's like 300. It's like around 300k XP. I should have done that. I did, but I will do it, and that'll get me Warhorn, no problem. So, yeah, 7 hours 53 minutes to max out a character from 1 to 50. No reason anyone can't do this. They give you XP scrolls, use them. You get XP scrolls from your dailies, use them. There is no excuses on why you shouldn't be able to use an XP scroll all the bloody time when you're leveling from 1 to 50. None. Zero, zilch, nada. As long as you're not a new player, you should be able to use them all the time. They give you like 4 of them when you're leveling up. It's like 3 or 4 of them. They're character bound. You may as well use them anyway. Use those, and also you get them from just logging in. Most of us have a crap ton of them. Use them. There is zero excuse not to. Anyway, this has been my power leveling guide. There are other spots that you can do for going and leveling up if these are kind of crazy. There's one in Craglorn. It's kind of nuts. Spellscar. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. If this fails you, you can always go back to Dolems, but they're slower. They just are. Maybe log out and come back when it's quieter, if it's too crazy. And the reason why I said to log out is because it stops your scroll, and then you can come back when it's slowed back down. As long as there's only like 2 or 3 other people here, you're gonna be fine. It's when there's like 10 to 15 people here that it gets a little nuts. That's the reason why I stepped away and went and did those dungeons with my buddies and they were wanting to do some other stuff, which is fine. It worked out. I got a few levels out of it. I got some skill points, and by the time we got out of the dungeons, it had calmed back down. So, and then I took a break before recording the last bit of this. I got to 50 and then I stepped away. Remember to take a break, get some water, get something to eat. Just you need some breaks in between, right? Like when your scroll falls off, take a break. It's very simple. You need water. You need to break it up a bit. Power leveling, yeah. Anyway, I went on long enough. This has been my guide. Have a good one.